of a defense attorney one day. If these people do feel comfortable stepping forward, I would like the person with the sign about stolen land built by black people to come up here with me, just to hold the stand, just to hold the sign. I would like my fellow coworker Raina to also come up here. And ma'am, I would love for you to come up here and hold that sign. I am a 21 Afro-Latina woman from Pittsburgh. The amount of times I have been asked, have you ever been the only black person in a room? Every time I go downstairs, I'm the only black person in the room. Yesterday, I had to have a 6-hour conversation with my own mother, my grandmother, my uncle, my brother, and my aunt, who didn't understand that my life is in danger because they are complicit and complacent with the violence that is going on against black communities. And I am yelling because I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was raised in a household of, Chicanx culture. My mother is first-generation American, Mexican-American here. And so she raised me to see myself as that. But I remember the day I realized and found out that I was black. I was in Michigan, 8 years old, with my cousins who are half white and half Mexican. But, as you all know, white passing. And we were sitting down at a mall eating Auntie Annie's pretzels. Okay, we all love them. We all love them, okay? And there is a black family over here, and my family was up there ordering, and I was looking over the ledge at all the people walking. And a security guard, not even a police officer, a security guard grabs me by the hand as he sees the black family walk off, basically drags me across the floor to say, you forgot something. You forgot something, what about her? And as I was screaming, I'm not with them, I'm not with them, my family is just looking around as if they don't have to look out for me. And then once they caught on, once they saw that I was being dragged, they finally said something and spoke up. But that shouldn't have had to happen in the first place. Their father is no longer a policeman, but did serve for quite some time. And that doesn't mean a goddamn thing to me. He doesn't understand that he is actively, consciously choosing to have a job and be employed by a system that exploits minorities. I get that your kids need to go to college. I get that you need to put food on the table for your 10 kids. But should that be at the expense of my life and the community that I'm also a part of?
Fuck no!
He said what he said. He displays, still does to this day, and probably will always display, non-black silence. He is a Mexican-American man living in Michigan, actively promoting Trump, actively promoting how he supports military and supports law enforcement because he was once a part of that. Well, sorry to break it to you, they prey on people of color and people of lower income areas to get you to believe that they want to provide you a future, to fight against and to suppress and oppress the people that you come from. Thank you guys. So everything about the good cop and the bad cop and the black cop, the Latin cop, none of that shit is real. They are choosing to turn a blind eye. They are choosing to turn a blind eye to the oppression that they cause. Whether or not they actively do it, whether or not they actively believe in it, when they put that uniform on, their actions speak louder than their words. Sorry guys, give me a minute. The exploitation of my own experiences that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, this is labor. This is intensive. This is stuff that people like me and all the black folks behind me, we go home and sometimes we cry about it for hours at a time. I did that yesterday because my own mother does not understand that my life matters.
Let it out!
Thank you. So what makes me think I will not stand in the face of a police officer and tell him the same thing? Or every other white person I see. Every other non-black person I see. And yes, that includes people of color. The systemic racism that black people face, not to lecture you all, but that shit is real. It's real because sometimes when I am alongside my mother, a cop will stare at me and wait until she walks away to come up and question me in detail about why I'm harassing that woman. It is real because when I was 15, I was stopped with my boyfriend on the sidewalk on our way home from a friendly gathering. And they assumed that we had guns. I was patted down, I was held to the ground, and I was forced to be silenced because my life was threatened by them.
Got wolf skin. Okay.
Is that a black voice I hear? Then it shouldn't be.
That's a white man!
Exactly, then it should be nowhere near here.
Nowhere near this face, baby. Yes.
I know there are some of you out there that are just here because you're curious and because you feel that the only way you know how to support is to just show up, but you have to go deeper than that. You must go deeper than that. Because our lives depend on it. Our lives depend on it. Your sign, I mean, it speaks volumes for itself. We are on a lonely land. Did you guys know that we are on a lonely land? I know this is a Black Lives Matter protest to serve justice to all of our fallen brothers and sisters that have fallen victim to police brutality and systemic racism. But we have to acknowledge that. Our entire justice system is built on that. Stealing and exploiting other people for the benefit of the more wealthy, the more privileged, and I don't think anyone here is having it. The microaggressions we face on a daily basis, I mean, it is everything under the sun that you can think of. For some it is different than for mine, you know. But it's when I go to Safeway after I'm off of my, you know, once I get out of my shift, and a random person I have never seen in my life comes up behind me and puts their hand in my head. Like, do we not just deserve personal space?
Basics.
And no one likes to talk about race. But would they have done that if I was white?
Exactly.
Would they have done that if I was Native American? Would they have done that if I was Filipino? Would they have done that if I was Mexican American? Or Mexican, period, any type of Latin? No, they would not have. Sorry guys, give me a minute.
You're good.
I think truly, thank you all for being here and representing. I don't know about all of you, but I'd actually like to hear from some of you. I think it's incredibly important in this moment that our white allies find their voices. And if someone wants to speak, we would love to hear from voices.
Hey, excuse me, sir.
Wait,
I feel like
can
you
I
should maybe hear from a police officer and what they feel about
Yes.
it.
Okay, so what we're gonna address right here is how I was silenced by a black man. A black man silenced a black woman for my struggles that I am talking about. Yes, I'm calling you out, and I'm sorry I have to,
Okay.
but that is your privilege as a man, as a black man.
I apologize.
You shouldn't have to apologize, just do better.
This is all of our rally.
I know it is. I know it is.
Please finish.
Of
But
course.
I'm just saying, I would like to hear from all of you. You've sat patiently. and I know many of you have voices, and we would love to hear it.
You
Please,
had your
finish.
I know. You had your turn.
Please finish.
He had his turn, and I was interrupted, and I should not have to continue because I should have never been stopped. And none of y'all should be disagreeing with me because all of our voices are equal, and I should not be silenced.
We got curfew.
No, that is totally valid. I support y'all, not getting arrested, because we don't need any more of that, do we?
Hell no.
Exactly.
We don't curfew anymore? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Which city?
All right. It was lifted.
Oh yeah, no, it was lifted. Take your time. Thank you. We are all fighting for basic human rights. Human rights that are universal. What the hell is so damn hard to understand about that? What is so hard to understand about that? We cannot say that we only support one part of law enforcement. We cannot say that we only support the military. We can't say that, oh, I support military and law enforcement, but this isn't right. This entire system is not right. There are explicit statements and testimonies from officers that have stepped down because of this injustice in this country that they do not agree with, saying that police training is based off of exploiting minorities. They are taught to victimize our people. They are taught to approach us even when not warranted. They are taught to agitate us, to cause a reaction, so in the hopes that they can, gain some sort of trespassing warrant and arrest us. And that is not right. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to step over there. I just need to lift up. Here, let's. No, I know, but I have to I want to engage with her.
Okay, but
Actually, you're done. I'm sorry.
okay.
Oh, wait, whoa, excuse me.
I'm actually done with you. I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
That's enough. Hey!
Okay.
This is a rally. She has spoken.
No.
She has spoken. She does not speak for us.
This.
I am not being hostile because I, myself right now, am being silenced by other black people.
It's cutting down the line of communication for us.
No one said that they're not going to get their turn. I brought stuff to camp out here tonight.
That's fine, but we're from here.
I know.
And
Whether or not you're...
listening.
Look, I took the liberty of coming out here even though I'm not from here to represent all of y'all.
But we live here.
Then why didn't you facilitate this?
I wasn't even here. I just came back in town.
But no one asked them. That's not their fault.
No, I know. And guess what? I know that is not your fault. All I'm asking is to finish my story. Because if I wasn't interrupted, I probably would have already been done. I have no disrespect among either of you. It's just that I would like the space to say what I have to say without being silenced. Because a lot of non-black folk will silence me, and I did not expect that from my own community. We're gonna let you finish, but please, thank you.
Obi.
No, yes, thank you. I mean, no disrespect to you, because I want to hear what they have to say, and I want your questions. We want your questions. We want to help you guys understand why this is a problem. We want you guys to understand why there is injustice. Do you understand? Yeah. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. And that's what I had to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.